It starts with a flash that you never see coming. A blinding white light bursts across the horizon, brighter than the sun, hotter than the surface of a star, and in that instant, one city, one ordinary morning, one normal human life ends, not with warning, not with an alarm, but with the quiet, terrible truth that by the time you realize what happened, it's already too late. This is the first 10 minutes after the bomb, minute by minute, second by second, how a modern city falls, and how the world changes forever. This is Crisis Timeline. WW3, the first city destroyed, the first 10 minutes after impact. It's 6:42 a.m. A mid-sized American city is waking up. Traffic lights cycle through empty intersections. Coffee shops grind beans. Parents wake their kids. Office towers hum with electricity. 82,000 people are already on the move. Above them, 400 kilometers overhead, a Russian satellite quietly tracks the eastern U.S. coastline. It's performing what looks like routine imaging. But today, it's different. Because today, the target is already chosen. A Russian submarine, an SSBN, armed with 16 nuclear missiles, is waiting in the cold, black Atlantic. One command code is all it needs. And at 6:44 a.m., that command is sent. A cylinder of steel erupts from the submarine, silent to the world above. Inside it, a MIRV-capable submarine-launched ballistic missile, rising through the water like a spear of fire. Nobody sees it, nobody hears it. The city has no idea it has less than 10 minutes to live. The missile breaks the surface with a blast of steam and flames. Radars pick it up. Warnings propagate across NORAD screens. But by the time analysts confirm the trajectory, it's too late to intercept. The missile splits in mid-flight, releasing multiple re-entry vehicles, each carrying a warhead. One is headed directly toward the heart of the city. At the edge of the atmosphere, a black cone is screaming downward at Mach 20. Inside is a fireball waiting to be born. People on the ground notice nothing. A jogger checks his phone. A bus driver sips her coffee. A dog barks at a passing car. None of them see the last sunrise their city will ever have. Time 00. A sphere of white light explodes in the sky, brighter than 1,000,000 suns. For one instant, the city casts shadows sharper than knives. Everything facing the blast, skin, glass, asphalt, is flash burned. People close to the center are vaporized before they even register pain. Within a radius of several kilometers, the world becomes a negative photograph, a ghostly silhouette burned onto walls. This is the beginning. The fireball expands at unimaginable speed, hotter than 10 million degrees Celsius. Air itself is ripped apart. Oxygen becomes plasma. Metal evaporates. Concrete liquefies. Glass shatters across the entire downtown. Anyone looking at the flash, even miles away, is instantly blinded. Heat alone sets buildings on fire, and then the fireball begins to rise, creating a vacuum underneath. The city's tallest buildings begin to crumble even before the shockwave arrives. Cars ignite. Plastic melts. People caught in the open suffer fatal burns in a single breath. Window frames bend inward from pure pressure. And then, the shockwave hits. A wall of force traveling faster than sound rips through the city. Buildings fold like paper. Steel beams twist like rubber. Entire buses are thrown across intersections. Bridges buckle. The air pressure is so extreme that it crushes lungs, ruptures eardrums, and slams bodies against walls. Downtown disappears. A crater begins to form where the fireball touched the ground. Millions of burning embers swirl upward, feeding an inferno that now consumes everything. The heat pulls oxygen out of basements, stairwells, tunnels, suffocating anyone who survived the first blast. Cars explode as fuel tanks ignite. Skyscrapers lean and collapse, sending clouds of dust rolling across the city. Smoke turns the morning sky into a churning black vortex. This is no longer a blast. It's a firestorm, A radius of destruction expands several miles beyond the blast zone. People in suburbs are thrown to the ground, roofs collapse, windows explode outward, power lines fall like fiery snakes. Farther out, 10, 15, even 20 kilometers away, people feel a violent shock, like the earth itself jumped. Some think it's an earthquake, others think a bomb went off nearby. Nobody realizes the truth, that their city has already died. The blast wave has passed, but now another threat fills the air. Radioactive dust, powdered concrete, evaporated metal, burning plastics, all fused together and raining down. These are the first particles of fallout. Birds fall from the sky, pets run in panic, cars crash on highways as terrified drivers slam brakes. The world is trying to understand what just happened. Phones don't work, power is out, emergency lines are jammed, radios fill with static, and then the alarms begin. In every direction, electricity fails, transformers explode, power grids collapse, communication towers melt, hospitals go dark, traffic systems die, airports shut down. Across the region, millions stare at blank screens. Some see a bright cloud rising in the distance and realize the unthinkable. A massive column rises from the center of the city, red, black, and burning orange. At its base, everything is ash. Above it, a boiling pillar of smoke lifts radioactive debris into the sky. In the troposphere, it spreads like a monstrous ink stain. People can see the cloud from 100 kilometers away. Some stop their cars and film it. Others pray. Many simply stand in silence, because even without understanding physics, everyone knows what that shape means. Firefighters, police, and medics attempt to respond, but they have no information. All they know is this: the city has gone silent. Dispatchers repeat desperate calls. Central, do you read? Station 12, do you read? Come in. Is anyone on this channel? There is no reply. The epicenter is unreachable. Roads are blocked. Bridges are destroyed. Radiation levels spike. The first responders who try to enter the city turn back, or never return. At NORAD, at the Pentagon, at the White House, analysts watch the mushroom cloud form through satellite feeds. There is no longer any doubt. The United States has just lost a city. Reports flood in. Thermal signature confirms nuclear event. Blast radius matches a 500 to 800 kiloton yield, telecom blackout in the region. Casualties estimated in the tens of thousands within seconds. The president is moved to shelter. Nuclear forces go to DEFCON 1. The world holds its breath. Social media explodes. Millions of phones vibrate as alerts go out. Nuclear attack. Get inside. Stay inside. Traffic jams instantly. Families call each other in tears. People rush into basements, subway tunnels, stairwells. Rumors spread faster than facts. There are more missiles coming. The East Coast is under attack. This is just the beginning. News networks interrupt broadcasts with shaky footage of the rising cloud. America panics. Wind direction determines life or death. Radioactive dust begins falling miles downwind, invisible, deadly, and accelerating. It settles on roofs, streets, clothing, hair. Children breathe it in. Drivers unknowingly track it into homes. Exposure becomes lethal in minutes. This is the phase of the attack most people do not survive. Not the blast, but the fallout. The city center is gone. No survivors, no sounds. Just fire, ash, and collapsing structures. In surrounding districts, thousands crawl out from rubble, burned, bleeding, disoriented. Some try to flee, but roads are blocked with debris. Others run toward the city looking for loved ones, not knowing they're walking toward lethal radiation. The sky darkens as smoke covers the sun. The world feels smaller, heavier, different. Because it is. Around the world, militaries go on high alert. In Europe, air defense systems activate. In China, missile forces go to standby. In Russia, communications go silent as state media prepares statements. NATO members begin emergency coordination. Stock markets crash. Airlines divert flights. Oil prices spike instantly. The world is seconds away from believing this is the start of all-out nuclear war. And in the United States, millions collapse in front of televisions, realizing nothing will ever be the same again. A single missile, 10 minutes, one city erased, tens of thousands dead, millions terrified. This is not science fiction. This is not a movie. This is physics, strategy, and the nightmare every world leader tries to avoid. In the first 10 minutes after a nuclear detonation, there is no heroism, only chaos, silence, and irreversible loss. The question is not just what happens next, but whether the world will learn from this moment before it becomes real. This is Crisis Timeline. Stay aware, stay prepared.